First, I apologize for the delay, but this is the proceeding in court that we cannot have. Right? Now, sebelum saya mula press conference ni, saya diberi satu muka surat ya, daripada Datuk Seri Najib. Saya rasa ini harus saya baca dahulu, kemudian saya buat press conference saya. Ya. This is Datuk Seri Najib statement that he wished me to communicate to you. It is in Malay. I will read in full. Okay. Saudara dan saudari yang saya hormati, saya menulis ini dengan fikiran yang tenang, meskipun hati yang berat. Ada ketika saya merasakan seolah-olah perjuangan ini harus saya pikul sendirian, namun saya tetap bertekad untuk meneruskannya bukan kerana dendam tetapi kerana prinsip. Apa yang saya tuntut hanyalah hak yang diperuntukkan oleh undang-undang dan apa yang telah diperkenankan. Niat saya tidak pernah berubah untuk menyumbang kepada pembangunan negara dan kesejahteraan rakyat. Perjuangan ini bukan usaha untuk mengelak daripada tanggungjawab. Ia adalah ikhtiar menegakkan keadilan, menjunjung integriti perlembagaan dan mempertahankan kedaulatan undang-undang yang dilaksanakan tanpa rasa takut atau pilih kasih. Saya akan terus menuntut hak saya melalui saluran yang sah dengan maruah dan kesabaran walaupun jalannya sunyi dan menuntut pengorbanan yang besar. Apapun keputusan hari ini, saya tetap yakin kepada proses kehakiman negara. Sehubungan itu, saya memohon semua rakyat Malaysia agar kekal tenang, rasional dan berhemah serta tidak terpengaruh atau terlibat dalam sebarang provokasi yang boleh menjejaskan keharmonian awam dan menghina proses perundangan. Perbezaan pandangan harus dizahirkan secara matang, tertib dan berlandaskan undang-undang. Saya menyeru seluruh rakyat Malaysia agar menilai perkara ini dengan tenang dan rasional, bukan semata-mata dari sudut nasib saya sebagai individu, tetapi demi masa depan institusi negara dan prinsip-prinsip yang kita junjung bersama. Ditandatangani di bawah Najib Razak. Okey. Siapa-siapa yang nak ambil gambar boleh. Sorry. Boleh ambil gambar tak? Boleh? Okay. All right. I know, sweetheart. I've got to do.
Up higher. I just want you to hold it up high.
Okay? Okay. All right. Now you do. Okay. Oleh sebab apa yang berlaku hari ini panjang, saya akan membuka press conference ni dalam bahasa Inggeris. Tetapi semua soalan boleh dikemukakan kepada saya dalam kedua-dua bahasa. Dan saya akan menjawab atau cuba menjawab dengan sepenuh-penuhnya. Is that alright? Okay. So, sorry? Yeah. So, today, as we expected, the decision whether Datuk Seri Najib was to be found guilty on the charges that have been preferred against him, and also what kind of sentence that he would receive in the event he gets the conviction. So, true enough, although we are extremely disappointed, but we are not surprised with the result. Because we sort of anticipated this, in fact, from the beginning. Yeah. So, while we are disappointed, we are more agitated, not in a bad way, but agitated to do better in the appeal, because by Monday we will file the appeal. This is probably the first case in my almost 50 years career in the law where I lost every single point. There's not a point, even a small point, that I won. Nothing, is zero. Huh? All right? If it is in terms of football, they scored 100 goals and we scored 0. It's a perfect result for the prosecution. But having said that, I'm looking forward for this case to go to the Court of Appeal, because every single point the judge had dealt with has been dealt with in a manner where our cross-examination of the witnesses, where our defense have not been examined by the judge. I can say this with all the clarity. I'm not saying this immediately after a battle and we come out not thinking straight. No. Throughout the reading of the judgment, we kept on being disappointed with every point that was handed down by the learned judge. I don't want to go too much on it. Perhaps what I can say, the most shocking maybe, there are many, something like in the region of about 50 to 100 points that we would have in order to argue this appeal. It will be that many, because we think, with the greatest of respect to the judge, we think that he has made so many blunders in this judgment. I call it blunders because I think that's what it is. Because you cannot have that many mistakes in a judgment of this importance. All right? Now, what is most shocking is every single objection of ours pertaining to hearsay. You know, in Malay, hearsay is dengar cakap. You understand hearsay. Hearsay is inadmissible unless it comes under an exception, which is called the Section 32 exception. Okay? Now, he said all those, what Jolo told, for instance, Shahrul, what Jolo said to Amhari, and then Amhari told the court. Yeah, all this, not only one layer of hearsay, but many a time they are double hearsay, sometimes triple hearsay. But the learned judge said, not only these hearsay are admissible, because he said they are in the course of business. To me, how could it be in the course of business when Jolo gave instruction to, say, Shahrul, and Shahrul said it in court? We cannot test what Shahrul testified, because that's not Shahrul's word. That's not Shahrul's word. Our argument is that what is purportedly Jolo's statement that was conveyed in court is hearsay, because the declarant is Jolo. Okay? Likewise, when Datuk Sri Najib's former secretary, what's her name? Datuk Azlin. The late Datuk Azlin, he died. So they quoted many things that he said. And the court again said that it is in the course of business. That to us is not true at all, because we have got a federal court case, nothing less, federal court case that defines what is in the course of business. It has got to be a system of path where you can say, okay, this established the way the business is done in this particular institution. Whereas this is not. This is berceramuk. You know, Jolo said this, Azlin said that. All these were admitted And we find this very shocking. But he also said, double hearsay also can be accepted because he said the law does not prohibit it. Whereas we have read the case law to the court where double hearsay is certainly a total no-no. Hearsay can only come in if it is under Section 32 mere exception, or under the rule, common law rule called Subramaniam rule, which is a Privy Council rule. And the Subramaniam rule says it is not hearsay if you are not depending on the words for the truth of what he intends to convey. The message, if you want to rely on the truth of it, you cannot. But if you are relying on the fact that it was made, only that the words were made, that's okay. But you must have a certain other condition. So this is one very serious area. And I think about half the trial went on with the judge relying on hearsay. Never heard of before. We objected almost like, a piston standing up, objecting it all the time during the trial. But the judge allowed it. And the documents that were tendered are all documentary hearsay. There's no proof of the original, unlike other cases, and yet the judge admitted it. This is to give you an example of what we mean by a trial that we don't expect the kind of path that the learned judge have taken. Okay? I don't know whether I should go maybe 2 or 3 more examples to you. You remember I have told the judge during the trial he should recuse himself because the prosecution is calling Jasmine Lu. Remember? And Jasmine Lu was a former partner of the judge in his previous law firm, which was Zain and Co. So they were partners at the same time. So when you are partners, you share a lot of information, you share a lot of friendship, and so on and so on and so on. I said, surely you cannot be independent when Jasmine Lu gave testimony. You cannot be impartial. But he told me, I can be impartial if Jasmine Lu is going to state something which is untrue and she's got no credibility, I will pronounce it. Okay? Now here we have very important factors. Jasmine Lu had escaped from this country and has been on the run. She was a fugitive. She negotiated after many years of running around because Joe Low maintained her and she was on the run. She was on the run and therefore she didn't come back. So finally when she chose to come back is when she became Pokai. She didn't have much money because Joe Low was maintaining her overseas. All right? Now, to begin with, this is difficult character, isn't it? Person who runs like Joe Low. Joe Low hasn't been caught, but she surrendered because she could not tahan anymore. Secondly, she claimed that she saw something in London, in a hotel, and she said she walked in, Joe Low was there, Dr. Sam was there, and there is another Chinese character, what's his name? T. Kok Tiam, who died subsequently when he came to Malaysia. T. Kok Tiam died. But you see that T. Kok Tiam was manipulating the computer. She said, I saw it like a draft of, what they call it, a donation letter. For the first time, she said it. She has never said that before. Suddenly in court, she said that. Now, what did we do? She said this was in early January of, what year was that? Early January of 2015. Yeah, so what happened was, we called Dr. Samshul. Datuk Dr. Samsul, who she said was there with her. All right? And Dr. Samsul said, and proved by way of his passport, that he was never in London in early 2015. Never. The earliest he went to London was sometime in July of 2015. But even then, it was not to the hotel, but to another function. Now, he challenged, in fact, Datuk Samsul challenged the prosecution to go and find out from the immigration whether his testimony about leaving Malaysia in only July and not in early 2015, he challenged them, but they did not go and check. Okay, they didn't take up the challenge. So his testimony stands unrebutted. Now, mind you, Dr. Samsul is a character that has not been impeached. His testimony has been straight. He's a medical doctor, and he was doing the CSR and humanitarian work. Whenever there is anywhere that requires his assistance, he'll go and assist. And he also provides medical assistance. But in spite of that, the court accepted Jasmine Lu's testimony over Dr. Samsul. So we find this very strange. A person who has taken a few 100 million ringgit worth of things from one MDB, that's Jasmine Lu. Dr. Samsul never took a single cent. He was just a straightforward witness. The judge preferred Jasmine Lu's statement and testimony. So that is the second example that we want to show. And you remember we called Brian Chia? Brian Chia is a very senior lawyer. In fact, at one time he was the most senior partner in Wang and Partners. Wang and Partners is one of the biggest law firm in this country. Yeah. So what happened was Brian Chia came and said that what Sharul has testified about certain transaction was not true because he was the lawyer who was being briefed by Jolo as well as Sharul when he came to London at their invitation. And he gave instances that really show that Sharul was a liar.
With emails.
With emails that he produced. He produced impromptu emails. That means emails that were produced on the day events transpired, which is many, many years earlier. And luckily he kept it because he as a typical lawyer, he kept it in his file and he produced it. Now, yet, the court found Sharul to be more credible. Strangely, the learned judge did not touch at all about Brian Chia. Brian Chia's statement was not even considered. Okay? So I think 3 examples that I give you is more than enough. Because I've got about 60 or 65 of those points. Some of them are even bigger than that. Okay? So basically we are appealing on Monday. We are looking forward to argue this matter in the Court of Appeal. In fact, although I'm sad for my client, in many ways I'm happy because the more blunder I think a judge makes, the better are our chances. And here, as I've told you, I lost everything. Never in my life have I lost everything. Not even one small bit of crumbs the judge gave us. Nothing. Everything gave to the prosecution. Nothing for us. Okay? I'm not complaining because he gave nothing. But I'm just complaining to you on the probability in terms of statistics that we can be that bodoh, that we lost everything.
How about the money trail and money trail forensic that provided by the DPP?
Sorry, say again?
Money and the money trail forensic that provided to become one of the evidence on this case. Are you guys having another thought of go against the money trail forensic?
I don't understand your question.
The prosecution actually provide the money trail, everything.
No, it's not forensic. They tried to provide money trail through this young man who was only about 30 years old from Bank Negara. Right? Finally they call him not an expert. He said, but he will be able to read the documents of finance. Okay? But we have shown that, like for instance, a good example, in a bank document, minus 620 million US means what? It means they took an overdraft from the bank. So the 620 never came to Datuk Sri Najib from, from one gil. It came from an overdraft which somebody took from, from Falcon Bank. So if that money is an overdraft, how can it be dirty money? Datuk Sri Najib wouldn't know where the money come from, but the fact that it came to him, as he said, as promised by the Saudi king. Okay, so the source is not illegal.
Thankfully, just now the judge said that the Arab donation letters were fake, right?
Yes.
So what's your opinion on that?
Okay, I dealt with the question of Jasmine, because Jasmine made this bizarre claim that although she said she's not part of the forgery, she's trying to say it is forgery, but she said I'm not part of it, but I walk in and I saw three gentlemen, Jolo, Ki Kok Tiam, and Dr. Sam was there, all depan computer, monitoring it, and yet they allow her to be there. You just imagine. She said, I'm not part of it. Why should these three gentlemen allow her to be there and expose their wrongdoing to her? Okay? This is over and above the fact that Dr. Shamsul has actually said that this is not true because he was never even in London at that time. Yes. Yes. And then Ki Kok Tiam, before he died, statement was taken. MACC never asked him about this. I mean, if he is the person doing the drafting of the forged document in the monitor and the computer, how come he never said it? Such a big point. Okay, now, every single one of the 4 donation letters, mind you, reach Mbank. Joiner Yu said so. Joiner Yu is not a witness completely in our favor. But Joiner Yu said, I can only act to receive money, so-called donation money, provided there is supporting document. So the Forex department, why Forex department? Because they have to do the exchange of the money when they receive it in US dollars or they receive it in some other currency. They have to do the exchange. Forex receive it. Another Chinese officer, what's his name? Yap. Now his name was Yap. I forgot the rest of his name. Yap testified he received it, and there is a chop on every one of the 4 documents of Mbank receiving it in that section. So Joanna Yu said, I receive it. Every time one of the 4 letters come, I receive it. What I did was, I pass it on to the CEO, what's her name? Chia Teck Kwang. Chia Teck Kwang testified. He said, I saw all the 4 letters as and when it came. And Chia Teck Kwang did something wonderful. He took it and went to see the governor of Bank Negara, Tan Sri Zeti. By the way, Tan Sri Zeti's name also not mentioned today. Not mentioned at all today, in spite of the fact that I thought Tan Sri Zeti and her entire family should be indicted for serious corruption. But Tan Sri Zeti's name not mentioned. But Chia said, I gave to Tan Sri Zeti. Why? Because, in fact, he said, I provided copies. Because I needed to tell Bank Negara that these monies, big amount, are coming into a private account of the Prime Minister. So he said, I took it very seriously. It's no joke. When a Prime Minister of the country received a few $100 million US, it's not joke. So he said, that's why I have to report. And Zeti took notice of that and say, okay, don't leave this document on my table, give it to the deputy. All right? Now, in the light of that, who do you prefer? Jasmine Lu, who suddenly shouted, oh, I saw a forgery when it is non-credible, as opposed to, because Tan Sri Zeti also testified, in spite of her being very much a witness that I'm against, I was cross-examining her very harshly, she had to confirm that she saw the donation letters because it was provided to her. Okay? Now, Chia Teck Kwang said there were these letters. Joanna Yu said yes. Yap said yes. So, what are we going to do when a judge rejected all these witnesses in favor of Jasmine Lu? Why is the judge so much in favor of Jasmine Lu? Question mark. Okay? Yeah. You see, she claimed the forgery happened in 2015, remember? Early 2015 London. But the money went in 2014. The document is needed in order to clear the fund. So, money went in first, and then she said the forgery happened in 2015. So, frankly, I don't understand the logic at all. Okay?
Could you clarify on the 2.08 billion ringgit that the court ordered? Was it for the recovery of assets, or was it, or is
Or
it
the
under the
okay,
Yeah.
okay. It's a good question. I think it's a total blunder. That fine under Section 55 can only take place if you can prove that the amount that Datuk Sri Najib took was never recovered. Okay? Did they prove it? We have shown that they have recovered a lot more than what they lost. There was no proof of lack of recovery. So how could you invoke Section 55? So you must ask me, I suppose you will be thinking, why is it Tan Sri Shafee bodoh? Why didn't you object? I didn't object because if the judge is about to make more mistakes, I let him make more mistakes. It's not my duty to correct him. Yeah, he should know that that's not the correct way to do things.
So it's not going to be included in the fine, right?
It is included in the fine. The order is there, but we are appealing.
So that means it's 11.4 plus another.
Yes, it's
2.1.
13.5
The
billion.
total fine is about
13.5.
billion.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay? Whereas the amount involved initially was only 2.4. Okay? And mind you, his tax is 1.9 billion. If his tax is 1.9 billion, his income is times 5. It's about 8.92 billion, the income of a prime minister. Where did he get that money from? So it is all main angin, you know, all atas angin, this money.
Tan Sri, the former SPRM chairman had already said that the donation was genuine. And that's
Former SPRM.
Tan Sri Zul.
Oh yes,
Yes.
Yes.
And yet SPRM.
not chairman, it's a commissioner.
Commissioner.
Yes.
And yet the SPRM, made the report that it's not genuine even after doing all the investigations.
Correct, correct. Now you see, in order to determine whether I think you asked the question, whether the 4 documents were forgery or not. This is a donation letter. My client was the Prime Minister. But he didn't stop investigation. He said, go ahead and investigate, do the audit, do the PAC in Parliament, the whole lot. Never stop. Unlike Datuk Sri Anwar. Datuk Sri Anwar stopped investigation pertaining to the sexual misbehavior, and of which he was charged. Now, but in our case, the investigation by MACC proceeded. And how did they do it? They, together with Attorney General Chambers, proceeded to go to Riyadh, the capital of Saudi, in order to meet the two princes. One of them, or both of them, signed the document of donation, the donation letters. And when they went there, the group of them were treated super well. They were in a palace, and they were even taken to do their umrah in a private jet belonging to the Saudi government. Nobody can do this just like that in Saudi unless you're part of the royalty or government. So came back, and they met all these prince and princess, met there, and they interviewed. They interviewed and they took a statement from the representative of the prince. All these were done by MACC. So they showed the 4 letters. The prince confirmed, yes, this is my letter. But because he has got immunity, as a prince, he's got immunity, he was not willing to be a witness. You can understand it. Because he doesn't want to be a witness, he said, I won't give you a statement, but my representative, my lawyer, nama Koman will give you the statement. So Koman's statement was taken there and then with the king in the hall. Sorry, the prince in the hall. So now, all these were done by whom? By MACC dengan AGC. AGC was represented by, at that time, Dato Zulkifli, who became Tan Sri Zulkifli and became the became the commissioner of MACC. All right? And then you have the entire bunch of MACC officers, including Tan Sri Azam. He was then not the number 1 in MACC. He was, I think, Dato Azam. They all went to interview. So the judge said the way they investigated in the palace was not satisfactory. Why blame my client? My client didn't do the investigation. It is MACC dengan AGC. Why blame Datuk Sri Najib? Yeah. If you are not happy, why not investigate further? You see the point? Nobody stopped them from investigating. Datuk Sri Najib certainly did not stop. Okay? Anything else?
Yeah, can have clarity on the jail sentence. How many years and running concurrent?
Okay, that one, Farhan is the expert. He recorded it. Okay. Let me ask him. No, you say it. You already said it. Okay. Okay. Okay, with respect to section 23 punya offence, which is 4 charges, 15 years each imprisonment. All 4 guilty, 15 years each, so it becomes 60 years lah in total if you aggregate it. But each of the 15 years run concurrently, run bersama. So in physicality, you serve only 15 years. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, the fines that was executed in relation to that 23(1) offence, I cannot give you the perincian, I cannot give you the details, but the total is 13.47 billion ringgit. Staggering, 13.47 billion. Okay, then what is it?
No, those are the breakdown.
Okay.
Based on the MACC and AMLA charges.
Okay, so I've just given you the total. Then the default sentences. These are the fines.
Yeah.
Okay, the total fine is 13.47. If they are not paid for each one of the 4 MACC charges, you get another 10 years on each. Another additional 10 years. And these 10 years run concurrently with the main offence. All right. You got that, as far as, okay. And then For Amlatfa, you have got the 2 years and 6 months imprisonment for Amlatfa, but you remember the fine under Section 55, which they have not shown, have not been recovered. They imposed on Datuk Sri Najib, how much was that?
2 billion.
2 billion. 2.081 ... billion ringgit. So there's a lot of money being thrown around today. Okay? So that's a total impact. You become almost comical.
2 billion is included in the 13.47 then.
Yes. Okay.
Ulang dalam bahasa Melayu ke sini?
You get the interpretation lah. Okay? Ada. Okay. You boleh tanya soalan lain. Sebab tidak ada. Okay. Last question.
Petition for clemency, fresh petition.
I will take the instruction. That is the reason why you will see there is a queue given, because we say that we do not want the stay, because of course the stay is with liberty for us to reapply. There is a reason for it. I cannot tell you now why.
Is there a bearing for your this appeal and on the appeal for the addendum?
No. No bearing except for the stay. There's a reason for it. Okay? Thank you. Bye.